Now there we go. Hello everyone, Leon LeGray back with another video. So today I am looking up on MakerSupport, a new pledging service, just like uh, Patreon. And anyone wants to know like um, what is MakerSupport about, and how does it compare to Patreon? Well, it it works the same way like Patreon does, but I think the what makes it a little bit different is there's a social aspect of it too. So, and as you can see right here, it does combine pretty much everything with what you see, which is Patreon and Twitter. I thought when they've done it, I thought it was really unique what they've done, really fascinating right there. So yeah, really fascinating. And looking over here, so if you look at right down here, which is follower and the following, I'm sorry, that right there, it just shows you what gives you an idea of what you're getting with MakerSupport. And it does give you a social aspect, and that way you can communicate with a fan base. And if you have a let's say if you're a writer, an author, a podcaster, or whatever it is too, um, it's you could just follow them right there, and it's voluntary too. Because if you want to pledge to somebody, it's really it's really not it's really nice too. And if you don't want to pledge to them, you can always follow them right there and their works, which is fascinating. I'd say. but yeah, and there's a lot good to say about it, and very much. Let me go ahead explore what it is and how it's done too. So I know that MakerSupport takes about 5% of how much you made over the month. It's actually, by the way, when I say 5%, it's 5%. It takes 5% of the creators, how much the creators have done since during that month, and it takes 5%, and that 5% that they take from creators, the MakerSupport takes 5% and use that for their services, and use it to fix anything that they do. Let's say upgrade their servers and pay their employees, things that matter too. It's that I say they've done it right here. And let me just go down to the details. That way I can show you in depth what it does too. So what is MakerSupport? MakerSupport is a platform on which makers can earn a living doing what they love. MakerSupport is made by content creators for the benefit of content creators. So there you have it. So that's the idea of what it is too. But also, and what's cool about MakerSupport is it's not just to support your favorite supporters, but um, it's also a free speech platform. What makes it different with Patreon? And pay pretty much MakerSupport came up as a reaction of what happened to certain creators that got their Patreons deleted off right there too. And pretty much, if you have in, let's say, a video that you do that's very unpopular, whatever, you're welcome to post anything what you do on MakerSupport, which I think it's really good. At least it gives people options too, because with Patreon has had its moments where it hasn't done a really good job in supporters, and also they don't really give them any warnings. That was the reason why that was a big reaction. Why why are people making the switch from Patreon to MakerSupport? it is actually really good to see people giving choices like that, and I see that being a good thing. And also, it's good because at least you can have competition both ways. People don't want to, if people don't want to use Patreon, they can use MakerSupport, which is fine. And plus, it gives people many various options. And also, I have a Patreon as well, but I don't think I want to go and take it off at this very moment too, because I like to give people two choices at the moment. If people wants to support me on Patreon, that's their choice as well. So that's that's that too. But yeah, let's look on over here too. So like I've said, the processing fees. So let's see, we charge a small percent processing fee for each transaction made through MakerSupport. hmm And these fees are used to build and maintain the platform. So that's like I've said before. That the all the fees that you've made during that month right there are taken to are to maintain the platform right there too, which is nice because I'd love to see other options grow and other alternatives grow right there too. So yeah, and it's a quite an interesting thing. I'd love to see what they can do with MakerSupport. So let's continue reading on the processing feed right here. The third-party payment processor we use takes 5% on average. So okay, like I've said, so 5% on average, and all that they do right here will will be used to maintain the platform and maintain the servers, which I say it's good, and that they will just use it right there. And like I will say too, because I love supporting different free speech alternatives, and this is one that needs to be supported right there. And it's very nice. I will say that though. And so yeah, but like I already went down the details on it. Let's go ahead and show what dive on deep of what we're gonna see on MakerSupport. So one thing I will go and show is the messaging, which has been released just some time ago too. This is fairly new. As so on the left hand corner, which shows conversations, which what other conversations you've had with other followers and followers that you had. So it's interesting because you got the social media aspect to it too. At least you got people that can converse with you privately, and which I'd say that this didn't this didn't happen before on there. But I'm glad there's actually a messaging system where if you don't want to say anything publicly, you can actually talk to your content creators privately about it, which I think it's really good option. They at least I say in my book they need to have an option anyways, so that's pretty good. And I without leaving any details. Now MakerSupport has released a profile stats. It's brand new, by the way. It's very actually very new. They've just released it since yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And but yeah, yesterday. So what they've actually announced on their Twitter page. So right here, you see is my balance, and you guys can see I haven't made nothing right here, since I haven't had anyone voluntary pledge to my work. So and that's right there. And it's also cool because you can actually download the CSV, which is the Excel, in the tier selection, which is the gives you another Excel, which I thought, hey, that's nice. So I haven't made any tiers just as of yet, but I will at least go ahead and think about some other tiers. And if you guys have any anything you want to put in mine, or anything you want to, what other tier levels you want me to add into it, I will add something right there in the future, and I will do that. So, but yeah, so referrals. Now this is actually extremely new, but this hasn't been released yet. So this is let's actually read right here. We're testing the program with a small number of creators. If you'd like to join the program, send an email to support at MakerSupport.com. Interesting. I'll look it up later on then. I'll look it up. And now, at the meantime, let's go ahead and go to the next part of it, which is my profile. Now, looking over here, this is the verification button. That, by the way, I've never emailed the guys over at MakerSupport about it. I've actually wanted to look it up on verification, and they've actually were nice enough to give me the verification button, which I thought, hey, this is pretty sweet. This check mark, it's pretty much letting you know this is the real creator right here. This is the creator that you are supporting. This is a verified creator. So yeah, that's what it is. Uh, simply what it is. Now, if you look right here, it's cool because you got your social medias right here, like YouTube, Twitter, BitChute, and InGab right here. Now, only thing I'll say the downside of it is that I will only would have loved if they've put a website like a URL. It gives you an option that you can put your website, but that's actually unfortunately something I'd love to see MakerSupport considering putting option your website as an option, but they haven't done it yet. But I could actually probably put that down on my about page and probably work it out from here too, because I know if you end up putting a website in, most likely people will end up like to go in your website and see what it is too, and plus people will end up looking to your website and supporting your work from there too, which I thought is nice. Because if you go to account setting, social media links, let's go and take a look at that real quick. Now, YouTube, Twitter, BitChute, and Gab. So that's the only things that they've had on the accounts that you can do. So there's not a website link you could just add there. So that's too bad actually. Oh, okay, and also it does show your pledges and how much you've put onto supporters that you want to support at. For me, I support MakerSupport and BitChute, which is one I've actually support on, and Peter Immanson, which is a creator I support on YouTube, which is a Swedish news but really good creator. Now let's go on to the exploration page. Now, unlike Patreon, which it's very detailed and it's very sophisticated, like where you have each columns on Patreon, each subject from drawing and paintings, science, technology, music, animation, gaming, etc., etc. So they've pretty much have a bit of everyone on there, so onto this website here too. But the website is still growing, however, and they're still taking feedback. So if you guys wanted to put support MakerSupport, you can do it by emailing them or sending them a tweet on those guys, so that way they can they can get feedback from you guys, and at least that will help MakerSupport as a company, at least. So it's a very interesting. This is like a very short video, but it's something I wanted to show out and what MakerSupport is about, and and also give just to give this out to anyone that wants to know what it really is. It's also simple, really. Like from here, you got the public postings, supporters, post to your supporters, or the $1 to your supporters. Which I find interesting. Now the poll here, I find it really nice because at least you can actually add a poll in it. It's actually really cool, in matter of fact. But yeah, so this is it right here about MakerSupport. Let me know what you guys think about it. So anyways, guys, I'll be out for this evening. If you guys want to see more content about it, stay tuned for more content, and I'll be back on more on it too. Anyways, peace.